Alright, here, this is a demonstration on how to open a bottle with the lighter. So survival
I've
tip
always
101.
wanted to know this, actually.
Not only does it light a fire, it can also open a beverage that you may come across or find in the field, and you're somewhere out in the wilderness. Key.
So keep your own lighters around.
Yeah, or whatever, or something of this nature. A piece of wood, a stick, a lighter.
I don't see how you're gonna do that.
So the key is leverage, and the main thing is having a strong base. And the top of the bottle's here. I have a strong base here. This is not going anywhere. My hand's not moving. Have it nice and tight, and I'm gonna wedge this in between my finger,
right in my face,
and the bottle cap under the lip.
Okay.
And I'm gonna leverage it up. See the leverage? So here you go. 1, 2, 3. See that? Popped it up. Boom. Open. And the other key is holding your hand here long enough, causing the top of the bottle to heat up and to give it that little pop that we just did. So again, survival trick 101. If you don't have a bottle opener, use a lighter.
Save your old lighters, you're gonna need them.
If shit hits the fan, I'm drinking beer. I'm gonna have a way to open them.
Alright.
Hello, I'm Walter Bradley, and I want you to join us. We are now on Facebook, on Heart Talk at facebook.com, so won't you look us up? We'll post interviews, we'll post data and information for you to comment on, and subjects that you can suggest, or maybe you want to be interviewed. Hey, we're looking for the man on the streets, and we'll put you there. Hey, this is Heart Talk with Walter Bradley. We're on Facebook at Heart Talk. Join us.
Alright, this is Manny from Mirror Change East Bay and Greg, and we're back for from our little break there. And where did we leave off? Questioning the death of a Navy SEAL. Questioning the death of anyone nowadays. I mean, like you're saying, this culture of death, they turned it into, oh, don't question anything.
But they would call this slander. Some people would call this slander because I'm like talking about this guy that just died, and I'm pointing out
you know what,
some lies that he made. But those lies are very important to a lot of people, and the whole timing, and who put him up to that.
Right. So I think here at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and read the entire article verbatim.
Like a turtle.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and read the entire thing. Hopefully I don't bore the hell out of people.
It's only like
maybe turn some background music on while you're hearing me read this. So I left off after the first paragraph here.
Okay.
Where I was talking about where Chris Kyle alleges that he sucker punched Jesse Ventura at a bar.
Which is not true. Right. It is a lie.
Right. Okay, so
it will be proven again.
So here we go. On January a January 7th, 2012 Infowars.com article by Paul Joseph Watson points out that Kyle claims that he met Ventura in a bar in Coronado in 2006 while Ventura was in town to speak to a new class of SEAL graduates at a nearby naval amphibious base. Also present were family members holding a wake for Michael Mansour, one of the first SEALs killed in Iraq. Kyle claims Ventura began loudly objecting to the war in Iraq before calling the troops, quote, murderers, unquote, and saying, quote, we deserve to lose a few guys, end quote. Kyle then claims he punched Ventura, knocked him to the floor, and quickly ran away. Here's Jesse Ventura's Facebook post. Alright. The event this man spoke of never happened. I've been to McPee's many times since leaving the Navy. I was never there alone. I was always accompanied by other people. If this happened 6 years ago, someone would have known of it before now. Right. Very good point there. Certainly in the UDT//SEAL community. UDT stands for Underwater Demolition Team, and SEAL stands for, not quite sure. Special, I don't remember what SEAL stood for anyway.
Special Elite. Okay, go ahead.
Alright, well anyways, community, it would have been known. This has to be news to all of us. I have always opposed the war in Iraq, but I have never spoken or wished any ill towards the soldiers. My heart aches that soldiers have died or have been wounded because of this war should have never taken place. I am perplexed over the agenda this man has and why a fellow Navy SEAL would tell a lie about an event that never happened. Clearly, between this story and the previous week's story about supposedly getting pulled over for tailgating in California, that was also a lie. Someone is out to destroy my credibility. I find it very interesting that both these stories are being spread by Fox News and its affiliates. As a Navy veteran, you realize you can't believe every sea story you hear. Let me finish by stating both of the recent 2 national stories about me are completely untrue lies. Neither event ever happened. End quote.
There you go.
Alright, so one thing I'm just gonna comment here.
No, and that's why he's suing.
Right.
Him.
I'm gonna make a few comments here about Jesse Ventura and what he said, because to me, there's a lot to be said about that. And just so you know out there, the audience and the people out there, whatever, some are going to say this, they're going to say, oh, you have a little bias towards Jesse Ventura because you enjoy his, persona, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You're a fan. I knew him as a governor.
Right, okay.
I never knew him as a mayor. I first heard of him in the political spectrum as a governor, and I talked a lot of shit about awesome wrestler guy. He'll never do right for, the state that he's going to run, Minnesota, and he's just going to, fail and just destroy the state. Because I liked him for his movies, I ain't going to lie. I mean, who doesn't like the quote, I ain't got time to bleed? You know what I'm saying? And as we fight the New World Order, we ain't got time to bleed. He's a wrestler. I knew him as a wrestler, too.
The best heel commentator.
I knew him more as a commentator.
Ever. Jesse Ventura would run
down so that's the thing. Some people would say that we have a bias.
That's true.
Right, some people would say we have a bias for that because
he was
we
also
enjoyed his
going
work.
Through the whole John F. Kennedy stuff back then.
Right, and that to me,
because he read
so that to me,
everybody else was out partying.
That to me,
he would be reading.
Right, so that to me leads me to believe one or two things, and again, it's up to you to believe what you want to believe. And my own personal perspective on this story, and I've heard it from many different angles, and I'm not naive in the sense that, the New World Order creates controlled opposition, but I'm not one quick to just automatically say that, yes, this person is controlled. And the thing is, you hear a lot of people talk about, MK Ultra, mind control victims, monarchs, MK Naomi, MK Delta, all these different mind control programs, Artichoke, all, going on in the 60s. Some say late as the early 50s because the Office of Intelligence and the CIA was created in 1948, 49, around that time. So anyways, these organizations within the federal government that were not really federal, more pseudo covert, not really.
They were there.
Did we vote on that?
They were there.
I mean, did the American people vote for the CIA?
They just kind of legalized.
Did the American people vote for the CIA, or did these bureaucrats who were paid and bought and paid for
create? What is the CIA? The CIA is,
Well, the CIA was the originally what was it? OSS.
Yeah, but even before then.
Right.
I mean,
before then there was no real intelligence. Intelligentsia.
There always was, because even under George Washington.
So then what
they
was?
Had their own
so the question
spies,
is this. So
they
the
had
question.
Intelligence.
So then that's
the whole Benedict Arnold thing.
Right. So the question is this: the intel. So then I guess you're saying. I don't really say this. The question. Are the what we want to look at is intelligence operations. So if you're talking about intelligence operations,
spies,
right, you're going into that,
who?
right,
but
right,
who?
right.
For
so the banks,
evil,
modern day spies, generally speaking, for the United States government, is for the Federal Reserve. Can we argue that? Is that wrong?
There's
to say that the Federal Reserve.
No, because every person that goes into that has to make that choice.
Right, but who's
they're
funding?
Going to respect the Constitution.
So who funds the CIA and the Pentagon and all that? The Federal Reserve?
Well, the Federal Reserve funds everything by proxy, I guess, but I mean,
so
really,
they have a lot to gain from this.
It's kind of us. Well, they have everything to
billions, trillions of dollars.
Keeping that.
96
that
quadrillion in derivatives and world national debt and just everything added up in one sum.
Yeah, man, these are serious people.
So we're talking
serious business.
What's 96 quadrillion? How big is that? That's like a number that would like stretch from here to here.
That's gonna
if
be
you
our
wrote
debt.
it in like
That's
14
gonna be our
font
debt within
or like 12
20 or
font.
30
You know what I'm
years
saying?
If we make it.
Right. So there's a lot of money to be had here. So when we look at the government of the United States, and again we're going off in a tangent here, and we're just discussing the background of what we understand and what we know from what we have came across in terms of the mainstream media,
yeah, I don't really
reality, all that. Not just necessarily that, because they say that the mainstream media lies, which I do agree. But then there's a lot of times when the mainstream media has to tell the truth, but you have to verify, and that's the hard part. So sources and all that stuff, independent journalists as well, they're a very great source. But back to the whole conspiracy and who is to gain here. Key bono. To whose gain?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the money? Follow the money. Who is the money coming from? Who's the financiers? One of my favorite conspiracy researcher, I wouldn't call him a theorist because he's looking into facts. Anthony J. Hilder. Anthony J. Hilder.
Conspiracy theory. They just don't want to call it that.
No, but they're looking into actual government documents that show.
I know, but that's the whole
conspiracy
thing.
Is such.
That's what I'm saying. It's just two people.
Misused word. But what I was gonna get at is that Anthony J. Hilder, he talks about the financiers, the Cassius cartel, the Illuminati, the elite, the gangsters, the people that run this shit.
Yeah.
So with that said, to whose benefit? Okay, so we have two gentlemen here, both Navy SEALs, both involved in super secret Delta Force type operations here, where we're talking like, you slip the wrong word out, you're gonna die. You accidentally get drunk at a bar and you get double tapped because you said some shit you shouldn't have been saying. So who's to say that these Navy SEALs, special agents of the elite, you know what I'm saying? And when we say elite, we're talking about two elites. The international banking cartel elite and the Navy SEAL elite. They have a very close relationship, no matter how much you want to argue and say, hey, it's just a theory. No, bullshit. There is no theory. You can look this up for yourself, factual evidence, that the United States government funds the Navy SEALs with the Federal Reserve through proxy, like Greg was saying, to conduct all these illegal wars.
That's all the front, though.
But that's the bottom line.
That's not the bottom line.
The bottom line in terms of what the conspiracy, quote unquote, is, there is no theory. It's just a fact. The fact of the matter is that the United States government, through the Federal Reserve proxy, creates all this money out of thin air, gives it to the Pentagon, who the Pentagon says, we got this loan from the Federal Reserve, who the American people, us, have to pay for through military spending and our taxes through the IRS and our income tax to fund these illegal operations in these wars. So these people that we're talking about here, Jesse Ventura and Chris Kyle, were both bought and paid for by the bankers. So the question is this. The bankers fund the United. They have taken over the United States. The coup d'etat of the banks has been done. It started in the 70s. I said the banker coup d'etat started in 1913. The coup d'etat is done. Even Alex Jones, who you talk a lot about, is said that the United States coup d'etat is done. We're controlled by the banks.
That's bullshit.
Okay, so that's bullshit. So Alex Jones in that regard is bullshit. We're not controlled by the banks. But the banks do control a big majority of the United States.
And
the banking funds, the banking funding, so when we look at the machine, and Mario Savio talked about this, the machine, the system. Of course it doesn't end there. It ends with compliance. It ends with compliance, though.
What power?
It ends with compliance.
What power created them?
Right, us, through our ignorance. Compliance is what created them, and compliance is what goes on. Of course, the Illuminati.
What is the Illuminati?
They're the controllers of the banking system.
Whom do they serve?
J.D. Rockefeller.
No, they serve the devil.
Well, J.D. Rockefeller served the devil.
And that's,
did they not sell their souls? Do these people not all rich people, but the elite? Right, we can go on a whole argument there. I'm not going to argue on that. I agree with that. I agree with that. Who's the 360-degree Mason? They say that 32 is incomplete, 33 is complete.
Yeah, but that's just
360 is Satan.
Little gains that they get.
That's Lucifer.
Yeah.
360-degree is Lucifer, the snake eating itself.
It's just a label.
That's what they say.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not saying that that's what I believe. I'm saying that's what they say, and that's what they want to talk about. And you talk about who is the Illuminati, you get me all passionate here and talking because it burns in my soul to talk like this.
Okay.
I mean, you have these evil men. You have these evil men trying to run shit.
Exactly.
You ask me who is the Illuminati, I'll tell you straight up.
No.
360-degree.
Who work for is what I'm asking.
They work for the 360-degree Mason, who is Lucifer, Satan, who is the king of this planet. I mean, look this up. Albert Pike talks about it in his own books. Who is the founder of Freemasonry?
That's
and you have all this talk about, the Illuminati was created in Bavaria, Germany.
No, they got caught
in 1776.
They got caught there in Bavaria.
Exactly.
They didn't start there. That wasn't their first meeting.
Yeah, so they probably got caught there and said Adam Weishaupt was the first one.
At least then.
But what we do know is that the Freemasons was an organization founded by a KKK member by the name of Albert Pike.
But that was all a front too. Those were all fronts.
We want to stay on topic. To stay on topic about Illuminati
and
the Freemasons. Okay,
we're not even on topic.
So we're even go further. Right, but the Freemason Illuminati. Right, let's get back on topic. Let's get back on topic and research what we're talking about. Don't take what we're saying for word. I mean, what he's saying.
I don't know if Jesse
research it. What I'm saying, research it. You know what I'm saying?
Covered the Illuminati.
Yeah, and everyone out there is probably going to say, oh, he's just, one of those conspiracy guys tying in the Illuminati to all this. Look, conspiracy guy, conspiracy person, whatever you want to call it. I don't believe in theories. I fucking hate theories. I try to prove theories wrong. My whole objective is to prove the theories wrong, and the problem is I'm having a hard fucking time trying to prove these theories wrong, pardon my French. But it's very difficult for me to prove that the founder of the Freemasons wasn't a KKK member. I mean,
sure.
He wrote books and talked about things, and
it's easy.
And I'm the crazy one.
No, you're not.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they're admitting these things in plain
sight.
Is
crazy. If truth is crazy, there's
fact
a lot
is
of crazy
always
people out there.
fact is always strange. Or no. Reality is always stranger than fiction.
Yeah, it is.
But it's designed to be like that, I guess. I don't know. That's just the way. By design, right? They always say that. By design. They make things so insane and crazy that you just don't want to believe it. You want to think it's a science fiction novel.
The master of wizards and trickery.
Yeah, deceiving. The deceiver, just to deceive people. That's the thing. They do that. All right, so we went off on our rant here, on our hardcore discussion about Illuminati and all that.
But it does kind of go back because you want to think, well, was this guy involved? Was Chris Kyle involved in some type of counterintelligence, some type of op that was purposely meant to discredit Jesse Ventura? And I truly think that. I
think this potentially. There's a lot of what ifs we don't know and questions that need to be asked. One of my questions is this. Here's my question. We know that
Chris Kyle lied.
Here's my question.
One thing is we know Chris Kyle lied.
Here's my question. Yeah, I agree with that. Potentially,
we know this.
That he was.
We know this.
Okay, I agree.
This is
to a degree. That.
I'm telling you.
But let me say this. Let me say this.
You know it.
Let me say this. Let me just say this. If you let me speak. Chris Kyle. If he was under government control, being a SEAL, which they all are, every single one of them are.
No, because he was already
Let
out.
me finish. If you understand the contracts and the game, it doesn't matter. Once you're a SEAL, you're a SEAL for life.
Well, yeah.
Once you're in the military, you're in the military for life. Don't matter.
Only
whether or not you choose to be in ops, it doesn't matter. You're still in ops when you leave. Because if you sign that dotted line, because they're under control. They're under control.
Why would they do that?
Because they're under control.
You gotta start there.
They're still under control by the same government that had them under control. So,
that's
my thought.
So
my question is this: was Chris Kyle
that
still under government control?
And did that get him killed?
Forced to say that Jesse Ventura sucker punched him? Forced to say that? Was he forced to say that through his handlers?
I don't know.
Or we're gonna kill your family because you're CIA.
We don't know.
Navy SEALs are automatically CIA. A lot of people don't understand this. No. Navy SEAL operations are conducted by the CIA. It's a special unit.
Yeah, but not everybody's part of it.
Of course they're not. Knowingly.
Nobody's.
Knowingly. Unknowingly, they don't know what they're doing. Navy SEALs get sent into places like Lebanon, Syria, Qatar, Yemen, all these Middle East, Panama. They don't even know why they're there. They're just told, you're going to do a secret mission, you're going to be flown in, you're going to land by sea, you're going to swim 15 miles inshore with fucking 90 pounds of gear, with a team of other men. Once you embark shore, you're going to dress up like the natives, be them, conduct your black operation. And that's the thing, when they do these black operations, you're automatically guilty of a crime that the government has committed. So by that, they threaten you with death. You're taking orders. Oh, you just like Bush. Another example of this. Bush ordered torture in Iraq. And the generals and the soldiers, I'm sorry, not even the generals, but the soldiers were the ones who got indicted. Bush gave the order. We ignore the Illuminati, the New World Order, the controllers, quote unquote, of the governments. That's the issue here. That's what I'm trying to raise. My question, that's why I was arguing you, because I wanted you to get adamant and passionate about that.
That's the question.
Because that added to what I was trying to say.
Which is
the Illuminati, the governments, which you got passionate about and started throwing it out, and it's more than that. Yes, of course it is. It's always more than that.
It is.
But I wanted to push your buttons. What did I say earlier in the show? I was going to take this from the perspective of the skeptic.
He's playing me.
Right, but I'm asking the questions. That's part of the show. Look.
No.
I wanted to find out really what the bottom line is here. What is the bottom line? I don't know.
We don't know.
But we have a lot of questions that are asked, and that questions come from our understanding of the world and how we see things, and we formulate our questions based on that. So your understanding of the Illuminati, Satan, being raised as a Christian, you know what you know, and you know what you know from your upbringing. So that leads you to ask certain questions, and the questions are based on your background. My questions are based on my background as well. A little bit different, but very similar. But the questions are
but we all
we formulate. That's all I'm saying. I'm just getting at the point is we formulate our questions
really have that choice
based on what we know and don't know.
You really take the scripture seriously, or you don't.
Right. Okay.
Always comes
scripture aside, or scripture within.
If we're
the thing is, all that I'm saying is that right. That's what I'm saying. So that adds more credit to what I was saying in terms of your upbringing and your background. So questions that you have.
That had nothing to do with my upbringing. My upbringing was not.
Well, your understanding and your learning of the world.
It was all. I always knew that God was real.
Right.
I always knew that Christ was real.
Right.
I didn't learn who he really was,
right,
and what he was really doing until I started really reading scripture and taking it seriously.
Right. And that's the thing.
Totally different.
So you just hit the nail. So
and I think there's many people out there that know. They just know.
Right. So basically, what I was trying to get at is that your understanding of the world
get in trouble and they cry out to God.
Right. And some people do. And all I was getting at is that a lot of people they formulate their questions based on what they have learned and what they know.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
One would argue that.
We don't really know. You can't really prove it.
Okay, so just from a psychological standpoint, that's all I was trying to get at.
Wow.
Back to the whole point of the questioning. My questions are based on that, personally, from what I understand.
Your question.
From what I understand is only what I've read. I've read so much about different events going on in the world, and I can only put them together. And those events that I've came across lead me to ask questions, because if they've done it before, they're probably doing it again. And when you learn from history, you ask the question, are they doing the same thing? Are they doing what Hitler did? By, creating the Reichstag fire like in 9/11, blowing things up, yada yada yada. Or United States and Operation Northwoods proposing to commit terrorist acts and blame it on the enemy.
Right.
This is common protocol of governments in the world, and all that I was trying to get at was, from what I have learned and understood, come to learn and understand from everything that's going on, it led me to ask these questions about Jesse Ventura. And a lot of people out there, they just don't know about things. Okay. I'm not judging them or anything like that. I wasn't judging you. I was just trying to analyze and figure out where you're coming from, and understand what
all you have to do is ask.
What you're no, I don't like to ask the direct question of where you're coming from.
You should always ask.
I try to find out where you're coming from by asking other questions about other issues.
Straight up, just be straight up.
No, it is about straight. Well, I don't know. That's just how I am. I'm just saying for the audience out there. That's just how I am. I like to pick the brain. I like to try to find out why it ticks and figure out. Yeah. All I was trying to, all I was saying is that, I don't know, it's just more of an adventure, I guess, to figure out and understand why. I could ask you, why do you like the Raiders? Oh, I just do. Okay, well, I'm going to keep asking you more and more and more questions. It's just not that simple.
Of course.
To me, that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So, with that said, there's so much to be questioned here. Again, as a truther, ask questions. That's all that I'm emphasizing. Everyone's questions come differently based on their, experiences in life. It's like, well, I would have never thought of that because I've never experienced it. People have experienced different things, and what's great about humanity is that there's millions of other experiences out there. Yes, a lot of them are similar, a lot of them are the same, but they're all different. So, let's hear what you got to say. We know that, again, we're probably going on tangents here, but Jesse Ventura potentially had nothing to do with it. I honestly, let me just finish for the skeptics.
Are we really even
my personal belief is that he has nothing to do with it at all.
Come on.
He has nothing to do with it at all.
I can say
but
that
in the
about
court,
you too. I can
of course
say
you
that,
can.
that you
Of course you can. But nothing has been done in court. Nothing has been.
You punch me. And you know what?
Okay, then let's take it to court.
I'm going to put it in my own book.
Okay, let's take it to court.
No, don't say that, because I might show up dead.
But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
I don't want that to happen.
That's the thing I'm emphasizing with this article. Let's take it to court. It was never done in court. Nothing was ever done in court.
It is scheduled for court. The whole thing is they gave him a chance. He had the chance to settle out of court.
So, in legal talk, this question, if someone that brought forth charges and who has suddenly died, are those charges still going to be brought forth in a court?
It's up to Jesse, basically. Jesse can either do it, he can either go forward.
That's what I'm saying. This has CIA by default, because the Navy SEALs are a CIA asset. You can argue that. Go ahead. Prove it wrong.
No, you
the
can't.
CIA.
You can't prove it either way at this point.
The Pentagon and the CIA are hand in hand, and the Navy SEALs are hand in hand.
Why would they kill him? Why would they kill?
Because he was probably my thoughts on why did they kill Chris Kyle? Why do I think they killed? My personal belief. Now that from understanding and trying to put this together, he was probably going to come out and say,
"Let me
finish."
Out against the
Let me
Second
finish.
Amendment. I mean, he was speaking for the Second Amendment. He was speaking in favor of the Second Amendment.
Right. So what I'm thinking So what I'm thinking here happened is that Chris Kyle was probably going to come out and say, "You know what? Someone forced me to fucking say this shit about you, Jesse. I'm under control right now. Someone's forcing me to say this." And I was trying my best to try to train people to get ready for shit hitting the fan. and teach civilians and American citizens about what's going on, because I'm a CIA asset. I know what's happening. I'm Chris Kyle. I'm a Navy SEAL. No, I'm just questioning his mind and his motives.
It's hard to.
If he was a Navy SEAL asset of the CIA,
I don't know.
Who has done and conducted.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Did he have, how many hours of service did he have with the Navy SEAls? How many years did he serve? What operations did he participate in? Let's ask that question.
Sniper. He was a sniper.
He killed people. He did probably political assassins. And maybe cartels and things of that nature.
I don't know.
Well, that's the question you gotta ask. Did he kill politicians? Did he kill, mayors? Did he kill drug lords?
They're saying
what did he kill?
He killed
in the CIA.
Al Qaeda. He wasn't in the CIA. He was a
for the
SEAL.
Navy SEAls. The Navy.
Okay,
so the reason why I say the CIA. The reason why I say
the Iraq War.
Right. So let me pause you for a second. The reason why I say the CIA.
That could be why he wanted to come out against Jesse, because Jesse was speaking out against that war when that war was happening, and they pulled his TV show. And I was watching that. I watched Rush and I watched him.
But did Jesse Ventura ever talk shit about the troops?
No, never. He never has. He never will. It is ridiculous to really think that he would talk smack about
again. So
and
so let me ask
some of the question.
Let me ask the question.
Really pissed
let
me
me
off.
ask you another question then. Let me ask you another, because I'm the question guy. Navy SEAL like Jesse Ventura, working in covert operations, killed a lot of people, probably.
Jesse?
Well, I mean, you're a Navy SEAL.
Don't know about that.
I mean, Navy SEAls, the primary mission for the military is to kill things. So, the military's objective is to kill. So, a Navy SEAL, when you're on an operation, you're either killing people or destroying something. So you blow up a bridge, you blow up a building, you blow up a dock.
You could be commanding
How do you take over an area? How do you command a base? You tell people to kill, right?
Secure, but that doesn't mean that you have to. You don't blow
okay,
up,
nonetheless,
something that you can use.
So then that's even more hardcore to add to what I was trying to get at. So the CIA, again, the CIA, who uses the Navy SEALs, who has been using the Navy SEALs over the past 30 years, which is all documented.
Why isn't the Navy using the Navy SEALs?
Because they are a branch of the Navy who is used by the CIA.
The Navy doesn't need to be used by the CIA. None of
the entire United States military is being used by the CIA.
None of them should be used by the CIA. That's why Kennedy wanted to get rid of the CIA. We don't need the CIA.
I agree with that.
We don't need the Federal Reserve. We don't need anybody like that.
Right, so again, back to what I was saying.
It's ridiculous.
The Federal Reserve funds the CIA, we know this.
And we don't need, we don't
Federal
need
Reserve and the CIA
that publish garbage either.
Okay, so the Federal Reserve funds the CIA. CIA controls the military through the Pentagon.
But they don't fund it because they don't have any money. They don't put anything into anything.
Right, of course. That's a whole nother discussion, though. That's a whole nother discussion.
They get it from us, or they.
That's a whole nother discussion, though. That's a whole nother discussion. But we know that.
So it's not really
on paper, in fiat dollars, they're getting money from the Federal Reserve. They're getting fiat dollars from the Federal Reserve to conduct operations.
Yeah, they're getting.
Right, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. They're getting fiat dollars to conduct these operations in foreign nations.
$100. Right?
Yeah. So here, go. As a CIA operative, go do something now with this fiat money. We just printed out $90 billion for you to conduct a black operation under the control of the CIA. You're a Navy SEAL. You're the best of the best. You're being briefed and told, hey, you're gonna go work on this, super top secret mission that's gonna prevent World War III and prevent nuclear holocaust. But no one needs to know about you being there. We're not going to tell anyone about your whereabouts. You're under government classification level 4 security. If you speak on this, we're going to kill you. Or you're going to be indicted, basically, and put to death for treason. So now,
why would you do this
you
to
signed
one of
an
your
oath.
brothers? Why would you do this to one
Let
of your
me finish.
brothers?
You signed an oath. Let me finish. You signed an oath, and now you're a SEAL. You're in complete control of the government. Now, of course you wouldn't want to do it to your brother. If the mission said, as a Navy SEAL, we need you to double tap Pat Tillman. or whatever military branch, you're under control of the CIA. We need you to double tap Pat Tillman. And we're going to pay you a lot of money to do that. And your bank account's just going to automatically be full. But if you don't do it, we're just going to kill you anyways. We're going to make a helicopter crash and make it look like you just died. Man, that's a tough decision. What do I do? What do I do? I work for the government. I'm a military soldier. The CIA runs everything. What do I do? Man, Pat Tillman's going to spill the beans about heroin in Afghanistan. He's writing all these letters to his mom. I was told by the government that I'm going to make a lot of money. My salary sucks. I'm a soldier. Yeah, $1 million to kill this guy doesn't sound too bad. Okay, boom, done. It's common practice, common protocol. Is this the case with Chris Kyle? Was Chris Kyle under control? Was he being controlled by the government to do this thing? Was he being controlled under mass funding from the CIA and the Federal Reserve to discredit Jesse Ventura, who's been coming out against them?
We don't know.
I'm asking the question.
We don't know.
Was Chris Kyle under control of the CIA to discredit Jesse Ventura and destroy Jesse Ventura because Jesse Ventura is going against them? Or is Jesse Ventura controlled opposition designed to deceive and get everyone all messed up? I don't know. I'm asking questions here. My personal belief is that Jesse Ventura is not controlled opposition, that he is a legitimate human being and he does care about his country and he is actually trying to get people awake. I'm going to get crucified for saying that. And I know I am, because all the conspiracy people out there are like, oh, you're brainwashed, you're just a fan of Jesse Ventura and you believe in him. So I'm going to be critical.
Did you believe he's
I'm going to be critical with
this
issue.
Real, man. You got to be real. But you can't look at other people and think that they're not real because they don't act like you. We're all different.
No, I'm not letting those people out there change my decision about what I feel about Jesse Ventura. But I'm already throwing heat. I'm already throwing heat back at what they're about to say. I mean, you have all these comments in here where they're just talking a bunch of shit out of their ass. I mean, we could track and trace these IPs back to government operations.
Maybe.
I mean, no, maybe. Go and look them up. Go who is. Aaron, who is these IPs. Try to find them. I guarantee them.
But the comments are pretty funny. Maybe we should.
You know what I'm saying? There's something going on here. It's hardcore, more than meets the eye. This is the tip of the iceberg.
That's what Frankie said. Frankie said that same thing.
We're getting very close to
something happening.
Something big here. I don't know. Jesse Ventura, in my eyes, personal view, he's legit. I don't think he's bullshit. But I'm going to be critical about him. I'm going to ask those hardcore questions.
All of these pro-gun people dying? There's a lot of people.
I honestly think the purge is on,
and they are being.
I mean, in Soviet Russia they did it.
And it's happening
in Nazi Germany they did it. There's the purge.
Look,
intimidation. They're trying to scare us into submission.
That are dying, and see what they're back.
Keith Ratliff, FPS Russia. I mean, I love the show. You didn't really like the show, but I loved it. You know, the guy was acting. He was just pretending to be a Russian guy. For a second there, I thought it was a legit Russian dude, but, you know, hey, I looked into the story and realized, okay, it's just this guy trying to demonstrate firearms and get people on board with the Second Amendment. That, to me, was awesome. It was great. Granted, his accent was kind of cheesy and, you know, retarded. Whatever, but no, he got it out. And Keith Ratliff, the producer of the show, mysteriously murdered, and that's a whole nother show that we can go over and talk about. I mean, Keith Ratliff, the purging of the gun advocates out there. Go on, Michael Tweet.
Another oath keeper, and
something big is going on.
There was another guy who had written a couple books, who was a pilot, who had written a couple books, and one was about, September 11th, and he like his first book, I guess, was a fictional book about a guy who would run drugs, who was a pilot who would run drugs.
But the fictional was based on reality, probably.
CIA.
Too hardcore. Oh, now you're talking about the CIA. I mean, conspiracy theorist. You're talking about the CIA now.
So, and they said that he killed himself and he killed his kids, and there's some questions probably within the people that live in that area who are having to deal with what really happened. Only they really know what really happened with that. You know what I mean? But I guess his wife was not there at the time.
Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and just throw this out there. We're getting real close to the end here. We've been way over time.
Probably, yeah.
But I do want to say this. Look into all the things we talk about. Don't take my word for, gold. I mean, take what you can chew and run with it. Just, try to question reality of what is, quote-unquote, reality that is given to us by the mainstream media. It kills me when I hear people say, oh, I saw that on the news on Fox or CNN or NBC or any of that. And then you ask them the question, do you believe everything you see on TV? And the first thing they say is, no, I don't. But yet, oh, I saw it on Fox, so therefore it has credibility and that's a reliable news source.
Well, yeah, because why would they lie? How could they lie when they're a big news company? Right.
So look up. So I'm gonna end it at this. Look up Monsanto and Fox News lying, and the human growth hormone in the milk, where there was a court hearing, where Fox News was actually taken to court and challenged for lying about the human growth hormone RBST. Which was put in the milk, saying, they're basically saying that it's safe and it doesn't cause cancer, it doesn't have any, side effects on humanity. It's fine, it's perfectly safe. Fox News is caught running lies in their news about it, and you could look it up for yourself. Look it up. Fox News caught lying, winning court cases, where basically, they said freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want, even if it's lies, as long as it's not slander. So you can lie about a product killing people in the news. So I urge you to look that up. Look it up for yourself. There's a big court case in the mid-2000s, and, leave it at that. Anything else you want to say, Greg, before we end the show?
I just want to say that, I still stand by everything that I've said in this article. I really think that, I really try to stick to what I could actually prove, to what I actually know.
Right.
And
you're a brave
really
man.
Show people.
You're very brave for doing that. Yeah, no, that's awesome.
There's more to this story, and there were a couple comments that were negative, but I think we're up to like 161 likes, and so there's definitely some people that like it, because I'm not trying to, dance on Chris Kyle's grave. I'm not trying to embarrass him or make him look bad or anything.
We're just asking questions and trying to figure out what's going on.
There are unanswered questions, and if people are really not going to recognize the whole problem with Jesse and that whole lawsuit that's still happening, that's still in place.
Right. So that's lingering over the whole scenario.
They have filed the paperwork for the court case. It's going to court.
Right.
They're just waiting for a date.
Right.
So that's where we are now.
Well, we'll see where this takes us. Again, I urge all of you to. Right. Yeah. No. I commend you on that.
Chris Kyle lied.
Right.
That's it. Sorry.
I agree with that, but I can't prove it in court. I don't know, because it never went to court. If it did go to court, it probably would have been shot down and proven that, hey, look, he did lie. Case closed.
Well, Jesse he lied. Tried to take the.
But again, I'm asking that
TSA
question.
To a court.
Right. But I'm still gonna maintain this.
So you never know.
Right. I'm still gonna maintain this and ask that question.
Of course.
Was Chris Kyle still a CIA asset at this time? Was he still working for the CIA? Because if he was working in Iraq,
he's not working
let me
for
finish.
The CIA.
If he was working in Iraq, the whole purpose of the Iraq invasion was CIA driven, CIA based.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's
the United States military.
You're working for the CIA.
Yeah, I'm wearing this hat, and
they're using
I'm
money.
a CIA agent.
They're
now.
using money.
Right.
that your tax dollars have been. So you're working for
the blood's on all of our hands.
The
Every
tax
single
money
taxpayer,
that is taken
the
out
blood's
of
on your hands, the
paycheck
blood's on my
goes
hands,
to
the
our
blood's on the
CIA.
viewers' hands.
So we're all working for
Every
the CIA.
single
Okay.
person here in this United States who pays income tax is paying
for
the
the
fucking
CIA.
CIA salary.
Alright.
No, they're paying the CIA salary.
Okay.
Straight up. They're paying the freaking... Sorry, I got passionate there because... Hi, I'm Manny from We Are Change East Bay, and today I'm just going to talk a little bit about gun rights and what it means to me. What do gun rights mean to me? Gun rights mean a lot of things to me. The number one thing that gun rights mean to me is that a slave lives unarmed, and a slave does not have the right to defend or protect itself. So I myself am not a slave. I believe in the full right to defend and protect myself. We have the technology to hurl pieces of lead at high velocities. People out there that are criminals are going to get their hands on those things and potentially use those against people that don't have them. So I myself, to defend myself against quote-unquote criminals, I feel that it's my personal right and my personal duty to secure my own person. I cannot rely on dialing 911 if there's an intruder in my home. And I hear people say, hey, if your neighborhood's bad and rough, move out of it, leave. You know what I gotta say to those people? Fine, that's your choice, go ahead and do it. But me, I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna stay where I'm at and continue living my life and hope to make this neighborhood a better place. And I do know that if so-called robbers and thieves and people of that nature, you know, criminals, if they knew that my neighborhood was well guarded and protected, I don't think they would choose to, you know, conduct business in our neighborhoods. So again, you know, those are just some of the fundamentals that I believe in, as the right to defend myself as an individual, as an American citizen, as a human being for that matter. We all have the right to defend ourselves from birth, when we're born. So that's all I got to say in that regard. Manny from We Are Change East Bay. I urge every single one of you, whether you do or do not like guns, to support the Second Amendment. It's not about liking or hating guns, it's about being a slave. And I'm not a slave. And I will die for my beliefs. Peace. So I'm Manny from We Are Change East Bay. I could go on a whole nother tangent on the discussion. I really want you guys to look into what we're talking about. Question everything. Even question us. You know, I'm not the end all say all. I'm just some random guy that works 40 hours a week as a manager at this tech company and freaking, you know what I'm saying, in the Silicon Valley. You feel me? It's like, I'm you. You're me. Whatever. You can do this. Yes, you can. Screw Obama. You know what I'm saying? The phrase is yours. You can do whatever you want. Don't let this government tell you that you're a peasant.
Hear what Chris Rock said?
Yeah, you need to rely on mommy and daddy government. Chris
Rock,
you sellout.
Don't diss your father.
Chris Rock, you're a sellout. Don't diss your father. Obama is your daddy.
Is our daddy.
No. There's only one. I only have one dad. Actually, I only have one dad, and his name is my name.
I have one father. It's not Obama.
I guarantee that. I'm Manny from We Are Change East Bay.
Greg.
Time to peace out.
Peace out.
See you guys next time.